Gibraltar seizes Iranian oil tanker bound for Syria. British Royal Marines stormed an Iranian ship believed to have been carrying oil on Thursday, in what authorities said was a violation of sanctions on Syria. Gibraltar port and law enforcement agencies, aided by the British Marines, detained the Grace 1 supertanker early Thursday morning, the territory's chief minister, Fabian Picardo, said in a statement. Spain's acting foreign minister, Josep Borrell, said the United States had asked the UK to intercept the ship. The EU imposed a number of financial, trade and transport sanctions against Syrian President Bashar al-Assad's regime in 2011. A spokesman for Iran's foreign ministry, Abbas Mousavi, tweeted that the British ambassador to Tehran had been summoned over the illegal seizure of the oil tanker. Mousavi later said the destructive seizure of oil tanker by UK could increase tensions in Persian Gulf, Iran-run Press TV reported, citing a statement from Mousavi. Iranian state news, IRNA, said the 300,000-ton carrying capacity ship was boarded by the Royal Marines early Thursday morning. The incident comes at a time of heightened tensions between the US and Iran. Earlier this week, the Syrian government has not yet responded to the incident. Grace 1 is anchored off the coast of Gibraltar, a British overseas territory on the edge of southern Spain. The United Kingdom's Ministry of Defence welcomed what it called firm. On Thursday, Picardo thanked the John Bolton, National Security Advisor to U.S. President Donald Trump, also chimed in with a tweet. America. In mid-April, the Grace 1 loaded up with Iranian oil and turned off its tracking signals to avoid detection before sailing around the Cape of Good Hope in southern Africa to the Strait of Gibraltar, according to an article published in Maritime publication earlier this week. This. Samir Madani, co-founder of Tanker Trackers, which monitors vessels through satellite and maritime data, told CNN that the Grace 1's journey around Africa took 2.5 months, a month longer than usual. Madani said he did not believe Syria's Baniyas refinery was the ship's destination, as the waters would be too shallow for it to enter. Instead, according to several shipping trackers online, the Grace 1 was built in 1997 and is sailing under the flag of Panama.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park,